What's up, boys? We're back with some more Disfigure, and today we're going to be going for a radiation sniper build. Shooting two enemies with a single bullet will trigger radiation, and it naturally has a piercing effect. So the radiation tree is just a big burst of damage against enemies that are in your... And then I think later in the tree, it also has a way to generate some vision itself as well. I believe it does bullet damage. Shield barrier. Do we need to ban anything here? I'm probably not going to be dragging enemies through the trail that leaves behind, and it lowers your fire rate quite a bit, so I think we can ban that. Enemies outside of vision, we can ban that at a later point. Let's toss a reroll, see if we can find the radiation tree as soon as possible. Ooh, big fire rates. That sounds nice for now. So vision's definitely going to be very important. We're going to want probably both the flashbang and, ooh, we can ban wind-up strike. I'm probably going to be constantly firing to get as many procs as possible. And also the light meteor tree would be pretty good. We can get extra fire rate over there. That leads into even more fire rates. And a lot of fire rates, but reduced bullet damage. We might not want that one, since bullet damage is going to be very important here. I think we'll take the electricity tree because the chain lightning thing's pretty fun, and also applying the shock debuff lets us kind of see enemies outside of the vision, which we don't have a ton of yet right now anyways. There's the chain lightning. Lightning bolt's pretty good. I don't think we need to ban any of these. Shrapnel is really fun. I would like to get that, but I think I'm going to grab chain lightning first. Missile, charge rounds. I think there's something important here. Every time you shoot, fire an extra bullet, it does lower fire rate quite a bit, but the extra bullet should also allow us to proc even more radiation once we find that. Let's see, stab snares, I can probably ban that. It has some okay stats, but I doubt we'll ever get around to leveling that up. Wildfire, XP from shock damage burn. Let's toss a reroll here, see if we can find some radiation. Nope. We can get some decent bullet damage and size there. That looks pretty helpful. Oh, we can ban that one at some point. Enemies outside of vision radius. Light meteor, that would be pretty helpful. Slowing projectiles is nice. I don't know if piercing even does anything when we naturally have it. We might grab it at some point just for the extra stats. Let's see, am I ever going to level cone vision stuff? Oh, the bottom tree actually is pretty helpful. Decent stats, and then the radar stuff that will eventually give you fire rate. So I probably don't want to ban that. But I do like getting some light meteor. That does a percentage of bullet damage and then also lights up some of the screen. Should fit pretty nicely with the radiation stuff, I think, once we eventually find it. Not the biggest deal since I don't even have the gun upgrade yet. Meteor shower, lightning bolt's pretty good. Let's toss a reroll, try and find some radiation a bit faster. Nope. Lightning bolt's pretty nice. So is ballistic tip. What does that get us? Those ones we already saw. Sure. HP from shock damage. Circle vision is pretty nice. Ooh, I really like shrapnel. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that. That should work on the meteors as well if they get a killing blow, I think. And then that would give us even more vision off of them. Big damage, size, and speed, that looks pretty nice. Do we need to ban anything here? Singularity, I think, would be pretty hard to use since it's kind of based on like firing a lot of bullets into it. So not a ton of value for the sniper rifle, I think. Outside of vision, still need to get rid of that. But yeah, let's take the huge bullet stats here. So our first weapon perk, I'm thinking we probably just take the big bullet damage since most of the proc stuff is going to scale with that. It's not bad. The 50% size would make it easier to hit 2 enemies to trigger the radiation effect more. And I can actually scale damage a bit with movement speed. So actually, that seems fine. It should just be an instant kill on some of the enemies after they get pierced a certain number of times. And then that will spawn shrapnel. And then that should increase our AoE clear quite a bit right now while we're struggling a bit, I think. Outside of vision, we can finally ban that. Fire rate, wildfire, sentry, missile. There we go, radiation. Every 6th shot, damage all enemies in vision by 100% of bullet damage, a little bit there. Then what else do we get? Increased by 10% for every enemy in vision. Enemies killed by radiation will explode, damaging nearby enemies. Instantly recharge on the next shot if 5 or more enemies are killed at once. 1 less shot to activate, 2 less shots to activate, and then we'll spawn a temporary vision circle that lasts a second. It does lower the damage of it a decent bit there, but I think we'll still want that. And we do definitely need some more vision related stuff so we can actually hit stuff with it. Sentry, radiation, lightning bolts. That's the cone thing. I think I'm just gonna upgrade the radiation for now. Shrapnel is pretty nice, cone vision size. Honestly, let's toss a reroll, try and find some vision stuff that actually helps me. We could probably ban the bleed tree, that's mostly base damage and it even lowers your bullet damage up here. This rate is not bad, but it would take a lot of points to get that and the rest of the tree doesn't really do much for me. Piercing, shrapnel's fun. That does slightly buff it, and then that's pretty nice. We can get a little bit more over there, that would be kind of helpful. Sure, we can start leveling that vision tree a little bit. Burn is not bad because it has some decent slow, charge round shield, killing spree. Slow them down by 25% and a bit of vision on top of that. That seems pretty decent. Sentry, killing spree on every 4th enemy killed, so that would make it come out a lot faster. We lose a little bit of fire rate though. 1 less shot to activate would be pretty nice. I wouldn't mind the flashbang for some extra vision and then 30% more damage in that. That seems pretty helpful right now. Burn, slowed projectiles, that would be pretty helpful. Lightning bolt's not bad. Enemy in vision will freeze them. Once per enemy, enemies outside will move faster. That might actually be kind of detrimental currently. They're shooting a lot of projectiles at me, so I'm going to grab that and eventually go for the projectile deflection because that one always feels super nice. Enemy projectiles move 50% slower, some decent base stats there. That's actually pretty tempting. Circle vision size would be pretty nice. Yeah, I kind of want that for the passive stats on top of making them easier to dodge, I feel like. Bro, stop camping it! And then we'll have to go the ramping bullet damage first to get that stacking up for big radiation damage. Big damage speed, lose a bit of fire rate. Ooh, more radiation, that sounds cool. Yup. Radiation instantly recharged if it kills a bunch of enemies. That looks pretty nice. Yep. And then we're just one level away from hopefully the huge upgrade for the builds. I can grab a little bit more XP here. Oh wait, we need the third tier. Well, that should be pretty big actually. 2 extra bullets every time they hit an enemy. Do lose some fire rate, but should be pretty big still. Oh yeah. Shield barrier, big damage speed, lose a bit of fire rates. Enemy will destroy all their projectiles that they fired. Plasma charge. That kind of does the same thing as radiation. Does it have any decent like stat boosts that would help the builds? A little bit of slowing, but I feel like we probably aren't going to get to a point that I'm going to be able to put levels into that tree. So I think I will just ban that. Bit of movement speed might be helpful. And we eventually want to get the damage based on movement speed as well. That's pretty nice. There's the bullet deflection, love that one. Lightning bolt's pretty nice. Enemies in vision. Circle vision would be pretty nice as well. I kind of want to get rid of the enemy projectiles, and with the piercing bullets, it's a lot easier to hit those as well. Wildfire, electromagnetism, proximity, meteor shower, a little bit of bullet size and speed. Let's toss a reroll here. Vision delay, sprint gives a bit of movement speed, an additional projectile that would allow us to pierce more enemies. Not sure on that. Next shot will do 50% more. Cone vision. What do we get after that? Enemies are slowed even more in vision. And enemies will explode into vision rays. That could be pretty helpful. We do need that to get the damage over there, which is pretty nice though. Yeah, let's go ahead and start working on that. I guess what I should be doing is trying to stay as far away from the boss as possible so that we get the extra damage from pierced enemies, actually. I would really like to get some more circle vision size. Heavy shrapnel's nice, but I would really like to improve my vision right now. Then next up, we'll grab the scaling fire rate so we can trigger both radiation effects even faster. Vision, destroy all projectiles that they fired. XP and pick up a little bit of vision size. Let's toss a reroll here. There's the bullet damage and movement speed thing that I want quite a bit. Sounds nice. Man, it takes quite a while to hit level 30 on Nightmare, I think it is, with the XP reduction. I kinda feel like I'd rather just do hard mode so I can level up faster and get more cool stuff. XP penalties usually just feel kinda bad. Additional projectile, circle vision size, movement speed, that looks pretty nice. Oh, that's the final one over there. The passive movement's not bad now, though. But I think we will definitely take the stats there, especially now that we have damage from that as well. One last shot to activate on the radiation is not bad. Shrapnel's pretty good as well. What do we get after that one? The 2 less shots and then the temporary vision circle. I would really like to try that out and see how it works, so we could definitely use some more in that tree. Additional projectile charge rounds. Enemies are slowed in vision. What do we get after that one? Kill an enemy in vision to increase bullet damage, fire rate, and circle cone vision size. But we'll need to have very high vision to keep that off. It will be pretty good at that point. But I guess we'll start leveling towards that. Chance to fire a bullet in a random direction on death would be pretty nice. Big bullet damage and size, lose a bit of speed and movement. That's something I want to take very late game when we have a bunch of sources of vision other than the circle cone vision, and just has a bunch of damage stats. I'm thinking probably just that. Not too much of a downside, and it should proc a lot of stuff as well. Laser, slug deflection, charged rounds, piercing, heavy shrapnel. I do like that tree a lot. Yep. And now, finally, we can get the thing I'm trying to build around, after I've already killed 3 bosses, I think? Please! I'm so close! 2 enemies with a single bullet, big damage for radiation, a little bit of bullet damage on top of that. Chance to ricochet, that would be extremely helpful actually, yeah. Let me get some of that. Oh yeah, that is awesome. That is so fast! What the heck, man? Oh. Ow. I feel like he's so tanky that he's going to wear me down. With kind of hard to avoid stuff. That didn't hit me, what? Like, the arrow was... Oh, I killed him. Okay, I thought I died there. I was like, the arrow didn't quite finish, right? And then next up, we'll have to go there, save that one for once we've got more fire rate and vision spawning stuff. Giga bullets. Big damage speeds, additional projectile. That might be pretty helpful now. Yeah, I think I will grab that. What do we get after that one? Huge damage, speed, and bullet size. Actually, that looks super nice. I think I would want to unlock that, actually. Enemy with a single shot has 100% chance to ricochet. That sounds really fun. Circle vision slows enemies. I would lose a little bit of damage from that. That sounds really cool with our massive bullets now. Every 5 seconds, emit a thin wave of light plus some extra vision on top of that. That's not bad. Chance for a charged round, killing spree to 35%. That doesn't actually increase my damage all that much, even fully stacked. Piercing rounds, what do we get after that? 3 more enemies, 50% more damage for each enemy pierced. 20% movement speed. Yeah, let's go with more of the vision stuff, I think. If we get some radiation procs during that, then we can actually just nuke the entire screen at one time. Bone Sentry has some okay-ish stats. Guided Missile. Missile spawn a vision circle. That tree's not bad with some decent bullet damage as well. I don't think we need to ban that. Wildfire. Let's toss a reroll here. Destroy all projectiles that they fired. I wonder if that works on the elite ones actually, since the normal deflection doesn't. 20% movement speed, pickup range, and vision size. What do we get after that? Picking up XP increases damage, size, speed of your next shots. Bunch of pickup range. Kind of a lot of downsides to that tree, I feel like. I guess probably the bullet damage there. And see if that works on elites, that would be pretty nice if it does. Enemy and vision to increase bullet damage, fire rate. Ooh, the big stats that I wanted there. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that. Those are some massive bullets. Oh yeah, it does seem like it works on the big ones that you can't normally deflect. That is pretty nice then. Laser where you're aiming. Bit of bullet damage on all of those, and a thin wave of light on that. I'm probably never going to be able to get to a point where I can put points on that tree. I think we can ban that as well. Some okay stats there. Ooh, more radiation. Okay. That'll bring us close to the final one in the tree. Yup. Oops. You got me. So we missed the final radiation upgrade, unfortunately. That was one of the ones I was really curious about, if we could basically light up the entire screen with that. Not a bad build. The bullets did get to be pretty comically large, and I think there actually is a lot more you can do into that as well. 150% size and 75% damage. And then it would be very easy to trigger that a lot, since they would be so large. That sounds pretty funny. I guess you would still take that one. Screen-wide bullets maybe, but that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.